I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. I am happy to welcome Baal. Hi.
Hi.
Hey, thank you so much for coming on. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Hi. I'm Baal, your lovely sheep goddess. I'm the reincarnation of the 8th spirit of the Chinese zodiac, the sheep. I am a VTuber, V-singer, voice actress, and more, and I'm excited to be on today.
Oh, listen to that voice, will you? that's something that have you been doing a lot of voice work, voice acting type stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think so. Listening to that, and I got a chance to watch some of your streams and harass you a little bit. I'm really amazed with how you sound when you're doing these games and you're reading the lines and stuff. It really is extremely inviting.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I was really happy to see you in the chat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I wanted to come out and see what's going on, and then I heard, what was the game you were playing? A Witch in a Forest. That was
Little Witch in the Woods.
Little Witch in the Woods. Yeah, that looks like it'd be a lot of fun.
So fun.
It looks like something that would definitely cause me to lose several hours of my life. Just sitting down and continuing to play, like I did with Stardew Valley when it came out.
Yes.
Oh, I would still be playing it if my computer hadn't broke. Yeah, my wife would hear the opening to that, and she goes, "Again?" I go, "Yes, I only have 40 save files. I might have missed something this time." Is this game kind of right up your alley as far as games you enjoy playing?
Definitely. I love cozy games. I love anything that I can voice act along with. It's really immersive that way, so I can get more of me talking with my community while we work through it. But I'm also a gacha game lover, so there's a little bit of a gap moe there.
I see the dollar sign there when it came up when you said that. Ka-ching! Folks, I don't think I can do it justice. When I was coming in and hearing you do the reading for this, it is at once welcoming and pleasant, and no sharp edges, and everything you want in a storyteller. It's and I'm not blowing smoke here. I really think so. And
I really appreciate that.
yeah, it's there's folks out there that are going to be jealous. But I need to ask you, have you done a lot of work on your voice, or is this something that's come natural for you?
Honestly, it came pretty naturally for me. I grew up watching a lot of anime, a lot of cartoons, a lot of My Little Pony. I think that's where a lot of my mannerisms came from.
Yep. You could definitely do a My Little Pony. I would think so. Yeah. You could probably do all of them, actually. So, was that where you kind of fell in? You realized that you did have a really good instrument there?
I started out with choral work very young. I grew up in a very musical family, a lot of musicians, and I remember my mother telling me really young that the best way to deal with my emotions when they'd build up and I didn't know how to express them was just to sing about it. And it became a coping mechanism and then a healing mechanism for me to just always be singing.
Yeah.
And from there came in the voice work with voice acting, because it's all very, it's all performance, it's all sing-songy, it's all very bright and fun, and I fell in love with anything I could do with my voice.
So how many things have you done, you think, now
Off the top of my head, I I do a lot of indie projects.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff through Casting Call Club. I can't disclose any of the projects I'm currently working on. I have a few NDAs. I can say that I did, one of my favorites most recently. It's not been published yet. I think they ended up keeping it as a personal project, but I did do a fan song, like a character song for somebody's fan-made OC of a Sonic character. It was called Red Ruby, and that was really fun to dive into.
Oh my gosh, it's just amazing. And folks, we're gonna hear a little bit of music here in just a little bit, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about as far as the incredible voice that this person has. So, when did you get started with the VTubing thing? What brought you into it?
I debuted in 2024. It was August 11th. My debut anniversary is in a couple of weeks.
Yay.
But I actually started my VTubing journey in 2021 when I first contacted my model mama. I had to take a big break after my model was created before I could debut because I wanted to procure every asset for the perfect OG 2020-2021 debut where you had your own song, you had your own performance, all these things. And I was like, I don't care how many viewers I have in the chat. I'm doing this for me. I want to do the OG VTuber reveal. I want the debut. And it went wonderfully. I had some very lovely viewers in the chat. I had a lot of friends there as well, and I had so much fun with it. And sometimes I do regret a little bit that I waited so long to start and press the go live button,
right?
Because I did definitely miss the big boom of the VTuber community because I started right after everything got big, and I could have started when it was small, and I could have started when everything was a lot of a nicher community. But because I waited, I'm honestly still glad that I did because of the people that I found and the connections that I made and the viewer base that I have now. But sometimes I do think about how it could have been if I had debuted back in 2021, 2022.
Yeah, it's always there's always going to be something you can look back on like that, but I don't know if you can really pin what would have happened because there was that initial boom, and it seemed like the audience itself weighed off a little bit. But I think the total audience is continuing to grow now at a more organic rate. They're not all
Definitely.
they're not all trapped inside and can't do anything else. But there's still so many people that would be entertained by this field that don't even know it exists.
Absolutely.
I think that the ceiling is not there yet. And some folks are always peaked. I don't think it has. I don't think so. And I think there's going to be a lot of room for people who go on once a month, and people who are making a living at it, and there's just so many dimensions that you can take as a VTuber. What brought you to this type of VTubing? What is this what you wanted to do when you started, or did you just want to get started and go?
This is what I wanted to do. I had a dream set in stone, and I followed it every step of the way. I mean, aside from a couple of minor bumps, some health hiatuses and such, but I stayed true to the sheepiest idol I wanted to be.
Yeah, it's people you can't plan for some things. It's just going to happen. And you don't. If you get pneumonia, it's going to be really tough to do anything when you have pneumonia. You just have to work around it. The big thing is to not get frustrated when that happens. And have you been able to keep from being frustrated when something gets in your way?
Definitely not. I can own up to that. I deal with a lot of grief when it comes to my health. So I do tend to get pretty frustrated when I can't perform to my best extent because sometimes my best and my baseline gets lower than it was a couple weeks ago, and it will continue to get lower. And so it's hard sometimes when you go in cycles of acceptance and then something happens and you have to come to terms with it again. And I am well aware that sometimes I don't handle that well. I have the coping mechanisms to help me get there to handling it well, but when like the acute phase, when it first happens, I know I tend to shut down.
Is it too much to ask what is going on with you as far as that goes?
Oh, no, I'm totally open about it. I actually advocate a lot for research for Dysautonomia International. I do a Dysautonomia International fundraiser for the entire month of October, every October for Dysautonomia Awareness Month.
Cool.
That is the autonomic dysfunction of your autonomic nervous system. So my subtype of it is postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, POTS, and I have a wheelbarrow of comorbid conditions that fall along with it, such as hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, narcolepsy type 1 with cataplexy. I've got chronic anemia, B12 deficiency, and a whole laundry list of more things that are icky in my body. And the big one that hits is myalgic encephalomyelitis or chronic fatigue syndrome, which is really common now that you'll find coming along with people who are diagnosed with postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome or other types of dysautonomia. It's kind of the things get bad and then they get worse, and the they get worse turns into myalgic encephalomyelitis or chronic fatigue syndrome.
Right. Yeah. I haven't talked about this really, but when I was younger, I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was not fun in the slightest. I was somewhat able to continue. I showed up for work every day. I probably shouldn't have, but I was in my 20s, and you're still invincible in your 20s, especially when you got a big head like I do. But it was in the very first years that it was starting to be brought up, and they didn't know a whole lot about it at the time. I might not have had it, but a lot of the symptoms were there. From fatigue was definitely there. There were days where I would sleep for 18 to 19 hours. And then there were 3 days in a row where I wouldn't sleep. And there were times when I just sit there and just kind of shake a little bit. It is not there's some people who don't believe that it exists. And for them I just say, I hope you don't get it. Yeah.
Well, I'm quite thankful that recently they've come into a lot more research on it. They're finding that they think that the root cause of it could be a dysfunction of the mitochondria of the cell. And I mean, it would make sense since it's your powerhouse of the cell.
Yeah. I think my at this age, none of my powerhouse works.
Me neither, and I'm still in my 20s.
Yeah, see, but I still have the chronic anemia and that type of thing, and I sure have lit up a whole bunch more stuff I've gotten since then. But it wasn't fun, and I don't know if you ever get out of that sort of thing. But you can.
No, I've fallen into what is between the 60 and 80% of severity loss. So from that point, you get a baseline that you're at, and you can get lower from it from post-exertion malaise, but there's not really any getting better from it.
Right. You can. You don't recover. It just gets worse and worse and worse, and then it can. For some people, I've seen, and for myself, whether I really had it or not, it gradually got better. I think we hit all the symptoms to where it went away, and either hasn't come back or I haven't. Or I'm so fatigued all the time. I just don't even notice it anymore. Um, but I worked at different hours, worked overnight hours. I worked all sorts, went to school and overnight. Um, did it, and I'm on your side with that. That's not it's not something to be taken lightly. Um, when that happens, and it leads to so many other things. Is the real deal. Um, Kidney problems. You mentioned the different types of um, motor skill type things that can happen with it. And not only that, but
Mm.
POTS on top of it. And I've interviewed a few folks with POTS, and I don't know how you guys do it. How
I don't.
it's just the the entire idea of POTS scares me to the core. It and the folks that like yourself who continue to you know go on and function and try to get through it and work, you are tougher than nails to be able to do something like that. Uh, Tougher than a $1 steak with nails driven into it. So that says a lot about you as a person, really. That you don't seem to be one who's gonna give up in the long term.
Mm.
Did I read that right, or are you like?
Oh, I am not giving up.
Yeah,
I am gonna push through this thing until it's not possible anymore.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, this is this VTuber thing is allowing you to expand when you can't even leave the room. I mean,
Mm.
it's we've seen it now with a few VTubers. This is your chance to create your own world with it, and through Baal, you get to be an entertainer, and you get to show your talents to everybody, and they get to come. It's I would hate to see if people didn't have this option. What would happen? Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I can just hear it's that important to you, and it just how have you always been somebody who could disarm somebody with your voice?
Um, Honestly, kind of.
Right? Yeah, I thought so. Maybe it's it's another thing too, folks, is that Baal has a rather uncanny ability to immediately bring you into and set you down and say, okay, you're a part of it now. Let's keep going. Um, that's um, that's tough to teach. So I really do think you've got everything that's going in the right direction for this sort of thing. Uh, do you do you think that now?
I think I'm moving in the right direction. I think I pivoted a few weeks ago
Hmm.
and I have set my eye on the prize. I'm not wavering anymore.
Hmm.
I'm not thinking about what could have been as much as I'm thinking of what can be.
Hmm. Yep, yep. You're grabbing the triumph and becoming the triumph from your surroundings. Um,
Mm.
yeah, it's just the surroundings, your conditions didn't make you. That's not what happens with those sort of things. You are the triumph that's emerging from that surroundings. And so far, it's pretty triumphant, I would say. Um, Seeing what you're able to do with the VTubing. Now, when you first started, and it takes a little while to get things rolling, but you started getting people coming back. Um, what did that do for you?
I felt really great because it was very sudden for me to not have a community. Um, because right before I started VTubing,
Mhm.
um, was when I had the deep health decline.
Mm-hmm.
But the start of it was because I had a workplace injury
Mm.
and I lost my job because of it.
Yeah.
And the job market was so bad that to this day, 2.5 years since the injury, I still have not been able to land one.
Mm.
And so it was so isolating that to have viewers in a community that came back and appreciated me for me and wanted to be with me, that was the best thing I could ask for in a world where I had no village.
Yeah. Yeah. You've made a village. That's your village. You. It's because of you that's there. You step back and take a look at that and remind yourself of that every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, every day
Mm.
I feel so thankful for the opportunities that I've had through VTubing, through my community, through the VTubing community itself, all the wonderful mentors and friends that I've made.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also thankful to myself for still trying even when I didn't want to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And sometimes you just got to set your jaw, and just lower your head and plow into the line, so to speak. Hopefully you're wearing a helmet. But it's not going to always be a win every time, and there's going to be times, no matter what your situation is, where it just doesn't go as well as you thought it would. Have you had that, other than physical problems? Have you had that in your VTuber career so far, where something just didn't work like you wanted it to?
Hmm. I honestly can't think of anything. I'm so grateful that I can't think of anything.
Or you've done a very good job of erasing it from your memory.
Right, that too. That's definitely a possibility.
Yes. If you find it sad, please teach me how your ways.
Disassociation.
Yeah. Well, there is a lot to say for that, really. Even now, every once in a while, when I'll pick up the microphone and start doing something, I will be more comfortable if there is a little bit of disassociation with it. Do you get that with VTubing?
I do. I back into health have a dissociative disorder, so I'm kind of just always there. I'm especially along with that, just like with the cognitive issues and of course brain damage that come with the narcolepsy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm only about 30% there all the time.
Yeah.
And it's great. It makes it a lot it can make it a lot harder sometimes because sometimes I go from 30% to about 1%.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it makes it easier to disconnect myself from the bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I won't care as much if I have a random hater in my chat that I just auto mod out.
Right.
I won't care so much if I have some frustrating DMs or anything because I know that it's not going to hit me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sometimes it's just a shotgun blast in a general direction.
Just a spray.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have a guy who's being a jerk. That's all there is to it. Or I shouldn't say guy. There should be, there are a few folks of all colors of the flag who fall under that category.
Guy can be gender neutral.
Yes. I'm still learning, folks. I'm an old dog learning new tricks. I'm going to get it eventually. I'll keep trying. But yeah, it's. I still don't understand why people will do that, because it seems like a lot of energy wasted on nothing.
Because it's energy that they don't have to use thinking of the hardships in their own life.
Well, that's probably true. But I would think from humanity's sake, if you go to somebody's channel and you don't enjoy the content, there's thousands of other channels. You don't have to leave a pipe bomb and take off. just shows that you're a jerk. Just something like that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I but I get that in radio too. Because I was doing sports talk show host for a long time, and when you get a call from the guy for the sixth time in the show, when he's using different names to get in past the
Uh,
yeah, it's like okay, we're gonna close the show down now because you can't play like a good person. Um, it does happen
it's the
all the time.
worst.
Well, it's bad. It's bad, and it's a bad experience for everybody when that happens. Do you
It's
have?
always hard when you have to shut something down because people don't know how to act.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, and it was an open-ended type show anyway. But at that point, we just got the commercials in and said, "We're going home.
Hmm.
We're going to get paid no matter what you say, so we're still going to go home." Um, and dealt with it along those lines. Is there something that you'd like to do with your streams that you haven't been able to do yet?
Yes.
Mm,
Um, I I mean, I've delved a lot in the concert side of VTubing,
mm-hmm,
and I would totally love to hold my own one day.
mm-hmm.
Um, there are a lot of moving pieces that go into that. I would have to have someone else do mocap if I did a 3D concert,
Yeah,
things like that.
yeah,
But it's definitely something that, as stressful as it would be to plan, I definitely want to plan someday.
yeah. You're talking the definition of nailing Jello to the wall in that situation. Um, and scheduling is not easy, especially if you've got talent that's coming from like other time zones, other countries. And
Mhm.
there's so many talented folks, um, so many gifted performers. We wouldn't even know they existed if it weren't for this. And say that I would think it'd be wonderful to be able to hold a a concert and have so many people involved, and then kind of be able to sign your name to it at the same time. Yeah. Have you got some general plans for what you want to do with it?
Yes, I do, but I think I want to keep those a little bit secretive for now. So let's just say, yes, things are in motion for the quite distant future.
Uh, you I can't get any answers out of you at all.
Sorry.
You're, you're too fast for me. The but it sound. I think you've got you know what you're going to be doing with it, and it sounds like it's just a question of finding all the pieces to put the puzzle together.
The funding.
Mm, well, I mean, there's always money. Well, actually, there's always not money. That's
Yeah, there's no money.
yeah. That's
There is
uh,
a big old negative.
yes, yes. I tell people all the time where the guy once broke into my bank account and his credit rating went down. Mine went up. It was 9, but now it's back down to 7. we we can almost get a candy bar with it. We can get the wrapper, but not the actual bar. So, um, with your singing, and we're gonna play a song here in just a moment. Um, is that something you've done all your life? You had a family of musicians, but was your voice your instrument?
I actually played a plethora of instruments.
Mm.
I started off with vocals and piano.
Oh.
From there, I moved to guitar and then bass and then drums. Uh, and then
You were a
I
one person
delved a
band.
little bit in alto sax
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I like saxophone.
and a little bit of violin, but I could not quite grasp it.
Well,
I was already starting to get a little bit of like excessive inflammation in my carpal tunnel at that point, so
oy,
it's
oy,
just
oy.
it wasn't gonna work.
Yeah, I envy folks who are able to do that. Well, my just from what's happened with my hands here recently, I couldn't do it, but I was always switch-handed, and it's some things left-handed and some things right-handed. I wouldn't even know which side of the, would I need a left-handed guitar or a right-handed guitar? I don't know. It's and playing the piano, I got these stubby fingers. wouldn't quite reach the dark the black keys, which I would be playing because it would be all goth.
Well, I cannot spread an octave. My hands are too small for that, so my piano playing can be a little bit limited.
Yeah, but still, I mean, to be able to play all those different instruments, and then have that singing talent along with it. I'm just waiting for you to write and produce and do all your own stuff, as far as that goes. have an own album where you play all the instruments on it. So when's it coming out?
That, as lovely as that would be, that was a dream from many, many years ago when it was still feasible.
Yeah, it's tough when something like that gets taken from you, and you don't get it back. It's a lot worse than me not being able to do it at all. And I'm like, oh, I didn't lose that. The world didn't lose anything by me doing that. So did you turn everything toward singing at that point, or were you singing along with learning the instruments?
Singing along with it the whole time.
It'd be pretty tough to do that with the saxophone. And you end up turning into a giant kazoo. Which I know would be pretty funny, actually, in hindsight. This particular song that we're going to be playing, Myosotis. Did I pronounce that right? Myosotis?
Myosotis.
Myosotis. So tell me what it's about and why you chose to pick this original song to record.
This song is about losing grasp on your memories and having that burning feeling of nostalgia, but not knowing what you're nostalgic about. Reminiscing on things that you can't quite remember, but you get that fuzzy emotion that comes with it.
Right.
And you don't know where it's coming from. It's really delves into the ambience of dissociative amnesia and how it feels to not quite remember, but to still feel it.
Ouch, that hits close to home. When you get to a certain age, you start. Some things are a lot harder to recall, but you still have that feeling that you should be recalling something, and it sounds a lot like that. We're gonna play the song right now, Myosotis, and I pronounced it right that time.
Yes,
and it's going to be on right now here on Eric Loy Interviews. We'll be back to talk about it in just a sec.
the feelings we once heard in the dark. Slow, the flow of time is ours. Even if life is sour, would you let it bloom? 'Cause time won't follow as it hollows out my pain. The blooming sense of fiction that I gained. A part of me was running from the end. Minds all drawn in either, they won't be the same. Those memories I once knew would be just fate. A calming anorexia what once reigned.
There you heard it, and I was not lying, was I, folks? Uh, Baal can sing, and the not just the range is impressive, but how you phrase it. Did you take any singing lessons while you were doing the choir work early on?
I didn't until high school
Uh-huh.
when I actually got sponsored voice lessons by my choir teacher.
Cool.
They because I made the varsity choir, they took me into voice lessons during some of our break periods,
Oh,
and I got to learn a lot more about the way to sing healthily, which has helped me so much now because I got a lot of like lower breath support and like vocal cord damage, and the way I've been able to still sing despite that is because I was taught the fundamentals and they were drilled so hard into me by my lovely old choir director who I still love and adore. She actually retired the year that actually not the year I graduated, the year COVID started.
Oh.
And so basically the year I graduated because
Right.
there was no more school after that.
Nope.
But I mean, she was so lovely. She taught me everything that has helped me to still sing today. The things about breath support, the things about dynamic breathing, how to calm myself down before a performance, the reason I'm singing, those kinds of things.
Right.
It's always still been instilled in my heart, and I will always have a little, her name that I won't disclose, shaped heart in my heart.
There's so many things that are involved if you want to pursue and keep a good singing voice or even a talking voice if you're a radio person and doing it for a long time. You have to take care of it. You have to take care of your vocal cords. As you mentioned, vocal cord injury could happen, and sometimes it heals right, and sometimes it doesn't. It's it can be really tough. I mean, some folks who do a lot of voices, their vocal cords are as big as their heads. Imagine trying to deal with that sort of thing. And if you need to take a rest, you take a rest. Because now you're just putting more damage on damage, and that's not good. I imagine it's even worse for you with the conditions you have.
Yeah, I mean I always have really bad vocal cord inflammation when I perform for too long, or if I perform when I haven't warmed myself up properly.
Right.
Mostly because of my GERD. So the acid has really burned a lot of my throat, and it causes a lot of excess inflammation, and it'll tighten up your vocal cords, and then you can't sing. And then you just kind of sound like
you start singing like nothing's coming out at that point. That's where.
But you know what does help?
What?
When you have inflammation, is a nice cup of honey, ginger, lemon, citron tea. That is my lifesaver.
A lot of people go for the tea. I was, unfortunately, as a young person, absolutely traumatized out of tea.
I'm so sorry.
By my grandmother. who, yeah, you remember, I mean, I grew up during the 70s, so, back in the old days, um, we had as artificial sweetener saccharin. Um, I hope that nobody that is younger than me have ever has to taste saccharin, but it was really horrible. And when I went over, we lived next door to my grandparents, which I'll always be thankful for. Um, when I or my sister would stay over, we'd get a lunch there, but the only thing she had to drink was either super saccharined tea or super saccharined pop, which was at the time Diet Right and Tab.
Mm.
And luckily, she kept a jug of very cold water in the fridge. And I still use that today. I still put jugs of water in the fridge. So but the one I would use for that, especially because in radio you can't really just call somebody out of the bullpen to do the job. You still have to go and do it. Was a slushy.
Ooh.
Don't do a shake. You're just gonna have like somebody painted on your vocal cords. The
Yes,
slushy,
you do not want to coat your throat with any dairy.
no. The slushy would actually almost put the ice right where it needs to be, and take away a lot of that. It's not a cure, but it's a little hack that can buy you 40 minutes of time. And as long as you don't push it, you'll be okay for 40 minutes. Afterwards, pain comes back, but you get the show done. With what you've been able to do so far, have you been able to do much collaborating with people at this point?
Yes. Collaborated on a lot of concerts, a lot of events, also just collaborative streams in general. I actually had 2 collaborations today before this call.
Wow.
I had I had our debut to Mars game show with Cars to Mars.
Oh,
it was a
yes.
musical game show.
Yes.
And then just a few hours after that, I performed in a digital Renaissance fair.
Okay, now you got to tell me how that comes about. That's how did you even get the turkey legs that you have to have for that sort of thing digitally?
No turkey leg for me.
Oh.
But we did have a lot of wonderful submissions. People submitted Renaissance themed artworks. They submitted songs that they had composed, things that they had done covers of in a Renaissance fashion. I myself did a bardcore cover of Material Girl.
Oh, really? Now that would
I did.
I bet that sounded really neat.
It was so fun.
Was it just with the lute mandolin type of instrument, or were you
basically?
How'd you do the ting sound? Ting. You keep one little bell with you at all times, just ting all the way through. No, I enjoy that type of music a lot. There used to be a channel on the internet that had only Renaissance music on it, and I would use that as ASMR type stuff in the background. Very easy to relax to. So that sounds like a lot of fun. I mean, how many folks participated in the Renaissance?
I don't know exactly how many participated. I did join in late because I was doing the game show prior to it.
Yeah.
But I saw at least 4 of the submissions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many other people submitted, but the stream had been going on for a bit before me, so I'll definitely go watch that VOD and see all the rest of what I missed.
Oh, absolutely. And the game show, I'd seen some advertisements for it. How did that run?
Oh, it was so fun. We each had a theme assigned to us, an emotion, and we had to pick a song and do a short cover of it based off of that emotional theme.
Oh.
And then We also had at the end of the show a game portion in which we were assigned a random audio and we had to sing along to it whether we knew the song or not. So
Oh,
say you got, again, Material Girl, you
yeah,
hear the background theme to it, they haven't told you the song title,
yeah.
you're like, I don't know, this sounds like something I've heard before, but I don't know what it is. I'm just gonna sing random lyrics.
Yes.
Or you get Under Pressure and you think it's the other song that sounds like Under Pressure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, VIP. No. Although, that song Under Pressure, I remember when it came out, because I was still spinning the discs at the time as a DJ at my college station. And we would listen to it and we were trying to figure out, are they singing the same song? David Bowie was doing all the lyrics and stuff, and Freddie Mercury was just like, "Bub-a-dup, yub-a-dup." I get a vision of Jim Carrey just kind of floating around the studio. That it certainly didn't deserve to be used again. So that must sound like a lot of fun. If you can get that, see, that's an example of what this medium can do. There's still so many things. So someone could do. I'm waiting for someone to do an actual variety show where somebody sits behind a digital desk and does an interview and say, here's Baal right now with her latest song so and so, and then you go up to the stage and you do the song and then come back again like you would on the old Tonight Show or something. I think that would fly. I think people would enjoy that sort of thing.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, but again, it's going to be a question of getting everybody in the same place at the same time. If you go live
All right,
with
when are you
that.
going to start it?
Oh yeah, no, no. I see. I'm married to a redheaded Hoosier, and she already says I do too much things that aren't what she wants to do.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, sort of thing. So, um, no, she's wonderful, but I've put so much time into these interviews now that I just want to keep going, and as long as people want to and people can enjoy themselves with it. Did you take that kind of a stance when you started, um, getting some momentum as a VTuber, that you were just going to keep going as long as you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go until I can't go.
Yeah, yeah. And I are you going to keep doing, not just on the live streams, but will you be doing some recorded content as well?
Yes, I'm trying to get into long form content, but it's a very different editing style than short form content is, and
Oh,
it's a bit
absolutely.
hard for me to get totally accustomed to it. It's something I'm really new to, and until I can afford to have an editor full time, it's something I got to do myself. But I definitely want to turn that Little Witch of the Woods game into a series.
Oh,
That has always been the intention through streaming it,
yeah.
but it's just going to take me a little bit extra time because I'm just a baby.
Well, I mean, that's the way I would do. I used to do a lot of long form radio stuff, and while you don't have to edit the video during it, you still have to edit the audio, and I would record it in bits and then arrange it afterwards. Um, that seemed to be a little better. Plus, if you do it in bits, then if something changes, you only have to take out part of it, redo part of the thing before putting it back in. Um, and today, I would imagine, even though the learning curve is fairly steep with it, once you know it, you're going to know it, and it'll be a good thing to know as you keep going with your multimedia career
Mhm.
and work on that sort of thing. Are we going to see an entire album from you sometime?
Yes, absolutely.
It's something that's in the works or something that's just as out there ready to be taken?
Baal original song number 2 is and has been in the works for over a year.
Ooh. Yeah. It's yeah. Yeah, I can hear you like it works for over a year.
It's my fault that it's taking so long.
I heard that the teeth come together a bit. Over a year.
It's okay. I had a breakthrough last night.
Yeah.
That just something shifted in me and my writer's block went away and I revamped the entire top line and lyrics. And I mean, of course, I still need to edit it a bit more and get it ready to be polished enough that I can do a full recording and all. But I mean, as a demo itself, it's absolutely way more the vibe I wanted to go for with this song. And I feel so much better about it because before it just didn't feel like me.
Wow.
And now it really does.
Writing lyrics. Some people look at it and say, well, you're just rhyming words. Lyrics don't have to rhyme at all if you do it right. But you do have to have some type of point to them. and if somebody writes lyrics that go, I was walking down the street, who do I guess to meet? Then you should give it to somebody else. Because, I mean, even Tom Petty did it that way. But, it's very tough after all these years and so many lyrics to come up with real original lines. Did you have that problem putting it together?
My trouble isn't coming up with original lines. It's with turning the BS that comes from my brain into something legible. I tend to think in flowery metaphors.
Yeah.
And I think no one knows that all these words translate into this sentence. They are not going to know what I'm talking about because these things mean something to me, but they don't mean something to the world. And that's who I'm singing to.
You know your audience. That's very marketing of you. That's something we and that's something that VTubers hate to hear that word, but sooner or later, marketing.
I love that word.
Marketing does come into it a little bit, but no. And if you want to expand, if you want to, you're going to really work toward making it a career. You still have to get out there and find your audience, and then bring them in and trap them and don't let them go.
Yes, they can't leave.
Take their car keys, deflate their tires.
I tend to be a little bit sassy about marketing.
Yeah.
It's a touchy topic for me. I'm very passionate about it.
Yeah.
It must just be because of just the career fields I've worked in and I get a really big purposeful sense of frustration when I see someone complaining about not having the amount of viewers they think they deserve. And then you open, say, their Twitter account, and it's just a bunch of text posts complaining. They've got nothing about their model, their VTubing, about what they do, who they are. Nobody knows you.
Right.
They just see somebody complaining.
Exactly.
And I feel like this deep, purposeful sense in my soul to be like, pretty please, market yourself. I'm begging you.
Yeah. It some people have got it right. Some people are more comfortable with that sort of thing, like doing VTuber shorts. Some people are really good at that. I don't know if you.
Well, even without shorts, short form content is a great way to grow, but it can also make you stuck. And so that's why it's important to get a wide variety of content and a variety of platforms you post on so that you diversify your community, so that you have a lot of different types of viewers coming into your stream. It's the more likely you are to get viewers funneled into your stream, which is going to be your biggest content platform in this terms of your strongest community members, because these are the people that are not scrolling through a reel for 30 seconds, not watching a minute-long video or even a 30-minute-long video. These are people who are here with you for hours out of their day. And that's where you want people to go. And if you want people to go there, you gotta diversify your community by grasping from different media types, different platforms, whether it's long form, short form, photos, videos, audios, everything you can do to say, hey, I'm here. Maybe you want to hang out?
Yep. You should put all of that on one T-shirt. I would buy it.
I would wear it every day.
Yeah, it's something that folks who are upset about their reach need to hear. Get out there and do an interview with the silly old man, or find some. There's a lot of other people who are doing interviews, which are very good folks. Know what they're doing. Try to do some like you're doing. You get out and do some concert work with people. You maybe you don't get the chance to promote. Here's my channel. Go to it, but people will remember the name, and they'll see you later, and they'll go to it. Something that gets your name, your model out there, your voice, which is huge, and you plant the seed at that point. And then you try to do things that help it grow. Sometimes it grows on its own, but you really have to get out there and put yourself out a little bit. Might be a little tough to do.
Takes a lot of TLC.
Yeah, but it's a little tough to do sometimes if you can't get out of your house very much.
Right. That's where my frustration comes from. It's you have the capability to do what I can't do with your channel. Please do it.
I said that a lot when I was doing sports, is that people who can do things, or people who can't do things.
Take it for granted.
Yeah. People who can't do things will never understand why people who can do things don't or won't. You're 7 foot.
And the problem is like, I fight with myself between my side of me that's thinking from 100% my autism, and then the side of me that's thinking from, okay, now rethink that in a way that puts it through empathy and is palatable for people. Yeah. So instead of, please market yourself, you are literally hurting yourself, I have to say, hey, I really understand why you're feeling like this, but this is how you can fix it.
You're good. Well, time's gone by so fast, and I could talk with you for hours because of just your personality, and of course how you're so welcoming. Obviously, very bright and talented and tough, and definitely folks need to come by and find out what Baal is doing. And we're going to have all the links in the description for this video. Just you keep fighting, and you keep putting out there the good stuff, and you don't need any help from me, but if you ever want to, just let me know and I'll do whatever I can. But please keep shining. We need it.
Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it, and I've really enjoyed talking with you.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.